This episode of After Dark is brought to you by Shutterstock.com. For 25% off your new account, head on over to Shutterstock.com, and when you're there to check out, use the offer code Gamebreaker10.
Gamebreaker TV.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to After Dark number 53. Chat room, can I get a clap? If you don't know what that means, you should come watch it live because you missed out. Coming up tonight, I don't have a clue because this is the live call-in show where you guys call in and make the show happen as we go. So we'll see what you callers have to say. Joining me tonight, like he always does, from XIV, Reborn, Free2Play.tv, Gamebreaker TV, all over the place. Mr. Mike Byrne, can I get a clap? No, not a salute.
A salute. A clap.
There it is.
Don't worry, chat. I'm always going to be on a delay. Always. I will always be delayed. It's okay. So will the other host. We'll live. I'm just glad we started on time. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
I was really worried that we were going to be late, but it all worked out.
Right on time, right on time. And joining us from across the country, well, Bernie, you're East Coast, you're even more across the country than Kiggles, but also joining us from Chicago. What?
What the?
I feel a little violated. Wow. As it, and that's not just because my picture is on a female.
Wow.
You mean you don't look like this?
Well, I know you guys can usually only see me from here down, but
no, we can only see you from there up, Jeff.
It's true. It's true. Got that backwards. Yolks all over my face.
I know most Gamebreaker shows we point the camera at my crotch, so you're not used to all this up here.
You're not. It's very hidden. It's been very secretive this whole time, and this has been the first time we decided to show you from the chest up. So count yourself one of the lucky ones. Let's go ahead and just get this show started.
You've got a very pretty face.
We've got so much to get to here. Let's open up the lines and just take the first caller. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question.
Hey guys, it's Sista. So
how's it going?
Could you clap for us, please?
Can I get a clap?
Can we get a clap?
Is my video off sync?
It is. No, it's very off sync. Could you go spend the next 30 minutes fixing that, please? Thanks.
Yes,
what do you got?
Put your crotch on cam. That's what everyone does.
I have two questions for you guys tonight. So, Mike Shafnit, Mike Byron, and Keegles, does it bother you guys when people mispronounce character names like Titus in Final Fantasy X?
It's Titus! Shut up! It's Titus!
Well, there's one answer.
No, wait, hang on. Are we taking a consensus? Like, I'm gonna say it's Titus. I always said it was Titus, but then I get other people down the road like, no, it's Titus. And then Kingdom Hearts come along, and you want to just punch him in the face because they called him Titus, but it's always been Titus.
Now that one's gonna go ahead and be Titus, my friends.
No, Bert, get off the show.
Oh my God. Are you Japanese? Sorry. No, you pronounce it Titus. You're wrong.
Sorry. And it to me, no, it doesn't bug me, but I think it's funny when we argue about it. Like there was I forget the name on it. We did something on XIV Reborn or on Waypoint or whatever, and one of us screwed up the name. I don't even remember what name it was. But it was an oddball Final Fantasy name, and if you weren't familiar with it, it was very easy to screw it up. And some people got really bitter about it. I mean, we were talking about a game where Ifrit is pronounced in-game, and we still sometimes,
Ifrit.
you know, Mr. Happy says Ifrit, I say Ifrit on the same show. I mean, we're talking about a game where it's a game. It doesn't bother me when people pronounce it different ways. I think what bothers me more is when people argue about mispronunciations for fictional characters anyway. So,
Bern, I'm right, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
No, on this one, though, I mean, I will argue you're wrong, Chapman.
And
It's
Kiggles.
Ifrit.
And Kiggles is
Kiggles,
wrong.
is it Ifrit or Ifrit? Ifrit. It's not F-R-E-E-T. Get out of here. It's if and then rit.
I'm
Ifrit.
sorry. The last time I checked, I spoke Merkin, okay? I spoke Merkin. I'm from Merca. So it's Ifrit.
All right,
You know
all
what?
right.
You guys
end all be all here because we're
Garrett
2
did
for
this
0.
earlier
We're
about
2 for
Makote
0.
asses.
We're
You guys
2
don't
for
take
0.
this Final Fantasy
2 for
stuff
0. I
serious.
think we're tied.
Bahamut or
Cheetahs.
Bahamut?
It's Bahamut.
It's
Or
Bahamut.
Bahamut. That was the other one that was the other one that I was thinking.
Bahamut.
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 Although I have heard the Bahamut one.
I want to smack anyone who says
whatever.
Bahamut.
It doesn't bother me if you want to say it differently. It just bothers me that we fight about something like that. That's the part that
Why?
bothers
It's important. It is important, Michael Byrne. It is important that we say
Yeah,
it
other question.
correctly.
This one was more
Just
to
go
get
back
Kiggles
to
fired
fighting
up 'cause we had
Garish
this
and it'll be
argument in
fine.
Mumble earlier. But my actual question is, so Square in general has done a really good job crossing franchises that you typically wouldn't expect to see together. Mario RPG, great example on Super Nintendo. Kingdom Hearts, reputation.
What's
I don't
that?
even need to say more.
What's that? I
But-
have never heard of that game.
So, what unlikely franchise would you like to see Square partner up with in the future?
Can I just say, Square, please don't partner up with anyone in the future. Just get Final Fantasy 15 right, and I'll love you forever. Because I'd rather you spend your time and get that game good,
Boy,
so that I can
was
still
the
have
most
faith in
jaded
you.
fanboy sentence ever.
A little bit, just a little bit.
God damn it, way back when all of the goddamn games were so much better.
What about you, Kiggles? Which ones would you want to see mashed up?
I don't know. I need more time to think about that.
Burn, hey,
Ask Mike Bird. He's the
Final Fantasy
expert.
fanboy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of cool seeing Square Enix with Tomb Raider and Square Enix. And I mean, I know they're not the primaries on it, but it is nice seeing them with Tomb Raider and things like Hitman and stuff outside their little RPG wheelhouse. So if I had to see some franchise in there, I would honestly be very interested in a survival horror RPG rather than a survival horror action-based game. I think there's something there that you could do. Maybe not with the Resident Evil license, because that one might be a little too iconic in the way it operates, but something along those lines in an RPG-type atmosphere, I think could be very interesting.
It's called DayZ.
Oh my god, I got it.
It's called DayZ.
Oh my god, I got
Get
it.
the hell out of here.
Oh my god, I got it. Ready? Ready for this? Ready? I'm gonna lay it on you. Ready? Final Fantasy meets Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No,
Good
God.
Lord.
Yes. You're welcome. You are welcome, world. You are
And
welcome.
then a step to the right. You put your hands on your hips, and then you hold on tight.
Am I
That's
the
enough
only
of that.
person? Am I the only person who grew up in high school that just didn't understand that? I would have friends like make it the
You're
biggest
stupid.
deal in the world, and maybe so, but I even to this day I still don't get it. I still I'm fine with Rocky Horror Picture Show as a movie, but I just don't. Maybe I'm just no fun. But I just don't like going to the movie theater to see a whole bunch of people stand up in front of the movie and shout the whole time. It bothers me. I still don't get that.
Isn't that what
Shafted
this
is like,
show
Is
is?
there fun going on here? None of them. Sit down, people. Put the
I feel
toast
like
away.
if there was a movie made on Mike Shavnit's life, that movie would be Grumpy Old Men. Okay.
Damn it,
Never
Janet,
once.
I love
Never.
you.
I've gone. I've totally gone. I am not. It's just. I don't find it entertaining. I don't know why, but I just don't.
Next week,
I don't get it.
am bringing toast, and any caller that throws up a toast, I will chuck it at the camera.
But
That's
see,
a
here's
promise.
the thing though. Here's the thing though. Because I like going to see showings of The Room, which is essentially the
as long
same
as
thing.
nobody freaking talks or laughs or
but
moves.
that's exactly.
God
that's
help
exactly.
you if you have to piss.
That's exactly what the room is. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It's really big here in LA, and there have been a couple screenings outside of LA that I've known of. But like, it's the worst movie you've ever watched in the world. And like, people will be like, the whole ambiance of going to this movie is to literally just listen to people shout at the screen and make fun of it. And I think it's hilarious. But I just don't like.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You like that, but you don't like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I don't.
Are you kidding me?
I don't. I can't help it. Can't help it.
I'm done with you.
Let's go ahead and open up the lines and take another caller. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question. And can I get a clap? Yes.
Was that loud?
Yeah,
yes.
that one works.
And it echoed. It had nice reverb in that room too. So
Whoa.
Ooh.
That was actually a bear trap. That wasn't a clap.
This is Mohammed from Saudi Arabia again.
how's it going, man?
What's
up,
great,
Mohammed?
except that the show is 35 minutes late.
No, we're on time.
This was on time. This started on time.
We always just started early.
You're always 5 minutes late. For those who doesn't watch live.
The show always starts on time.
He lives in LA.
Never.
5 minutes late is fashionably on time, or whatever.
That's true.
I don't know.
Because apparently Chad thinks I'm a hipster because I hate Rocky Horror Picture Show. What do you got for us, Mohammed?
I have two questions. One is for Kiggles. Kiggles, can you equip your Josh Allen hair, please?
Yes, I can.
Did you wear it?
He had to think about it.
Well,
He's like, well,
is it here?
that depends because I
Can
can
I wear
see it. But it's on the other side of the room, so I'm not sure.
So while he looks for his Josh Allen head, what's your second question?
So my second question is, how can I make people like me more?
Yes, Josh is here.
Josh, serious question. How can we make people like me more?
No,
Stop talking.
me, not you. People
Oh,
don't
sorry,
like
sorry,
it.
Mohammed. People don't like me, and it doesn't matter. How can we make Muhammad like people like Muhammad more?
Mohammed, how old are you?
We let him go. We're swapping questions. Dramatic effect.
It's
How
the
can
most absurd wig ever.
clearly step one to making people like you, get a Josh Allen wig, because you can just wear it wherever and people will start laughing, and if you're laughing, you're
That's
the life
right.
of the party. So
Assuming the question is serious, just for a minute, we should at least dignify it with an answer, right? I have no clue.
I don't know. I don't.
No.
It's a
Just
very
be
ambiguous
yourself.
question.
It's just be yourself, and if somebody
Yeah.
doesn't like you, then it's not the kind of person you would enjoy hanging out with anyway. That's
I'm
just
getting.
how-
agree.
I actually hang on because I'm getting cues. This is legitimately a very serious question, and I think that as Burns said, you can't make other people like you. And here's a little bit of real advice. I'm gonna dish it out like I know what I'm talking about.
The
Don't
grumpy
worry.
old man is giving you some nuggets. Okay, everyone,
Don't-
listen up.
Shut up, Kiggles. Don't worry about people liking you. Worry about liking yourself. And I know there's probably a very ambiguous. A lot of people say that. And like maybe you've heard your parents say that. And that's who told me that when I was in 5th grade. My parents told me that I couldn't date a girl. I was back in 5th grade. I wanted to be in my very first relationship. I was just starting to like girls, and I was like, "Mom, I want to date Becca because she likes me." And my mom literally looks me in the face and she's like, "No." I'm like, "What? Why?" And dead serious, her words were because we're not going to permit you to date someone else until you know who you are. And I think that's. I'm trying everything not to take this question seriously, so don't make me laugh. I think that's important because you have to be okay with yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself. You don't need to worry about if other people like you or not. Because if you're happy with what you're doing and you're happy with the path that you're on, friends will come. You will find like-minded people as long as you can accept and be happy with yourself. And I think that's a really, really big key to ultimately answering that question, because you can't control everyone else, and you shouldn't control everyone else. You shouldn't even worry about what other people think. You think I do? I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it when everybody says it's my fault the show breaks and that I wear yellow dresses and all the other crazy stuff. Truthfully, I really don't care. So to me, it's funny, and I laugh it off, and I'm fine with it. And you know what? I think ultimately a lot of people connect with me because of that. And that is one way that I feel that could ultimately, hopefully, help you. Do you guys have anything to add?
Yep.
And then Shafnet's parents beat him to within an inch of his life with toast.
He was in a burlap sack.
Okay.
I actually do have something serious to add.
Go ahead, Kiggles, because I got something too. Go ahead.
So, our previous caller, Zista, I've been friends with for, I don't know, some months, and I met him through Josh Allen and blah, blah, blah. But we had a heart-to-heart recently, and he's like, you know what, Kiggles? I actually found you really, really annoying the first couple of times I met you. And the thing is, that's true. I can come off as very, very annoying. And sometimes I play it up. And someone asked me, like, is that you? Is that really you? Oh, shut up. Don't give me that face, Mike Bird. Someone posted, was like, is that really you, Kiggles? Or is that the wine? No, that is really me. And it's been difficult, but I have come to learn that I am who I am. And some people like me and some people don't. But as long as you are who you are, you know that people are going to like you for who you are than for what kind of persona you're putting out there. And that's basically what Shafnet's parents were teaching. And we only tease Shafnet about that crap because we like him. If we didn't like him, we would say it behind his back. And we do say it behind his back, but we say it we say it to his face too. And really, no, that's how you know who your friends are, because they will give you shit to your face.
That's true. It's very true. Burn, what do you got to add to this?
Boy, then Shafnet and Ganon, they just must love me, man. Every time I see one, they're giving me shit about something.
It's true. That means
usually
like
Final Fantasy related. No, on a serious note, and Shafnet, you're absolutely right. It's just don't take everything so seriously. If you're trying to go out and get friends, and that's the whole purpose of what you're doing, you're probably going to be frustrated. Just chill, have fun, and the people that like the same things you do they're gonna come in.
All right, let's go ahead and move on from this. But before I do, I want to tell you guys about a sponsor that we have right here that we use all of the time, Shutterstock.com. Shutterstock is a must-have tool for anyone that's out there if you're in the creative industry. They've got over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips that just you can find all over the place. I've talked about it in previous weeks. I even found Shutterstock assets used in a Showtime show, Dexter. So if you open your eyes, you'd be surprised how much you can find it. You can inject your websites with some instant credibility if you use what Shutterstock has to offer. They've got a bunch of still photography, stock footage, and art assets that you can apply. And we actually use it all the time. We speak about it, but we never, honestly, I don't want to say we never show you, but we've actually got some stuff here that we can show you that we've personally used Shutterstock for. So a lot of you guys out there are probably really excited about Gamebreaker Nation. It's a big, initiative that we're trying to start here. And you can actually start signing up right now by heading over to GamebreakerNation.com. But for those of you with a keen eye, you'll notice a nice royal-looking lion in the background there. And if I wait just a minute, it's going to cycle to another lion. That's right. Hey, guys, where did we get these? That's right. We went straight over to Shutterstock. Boom, right there.
That's
Royalty
a lie.
lion. That's a lion. And then boom,
Those
right
are
there.
pictures of Gary Gannon. You are lying.
Available right now on Shutterstock, and all you guys have to do is head on over to Shutterstock.com, and you can actually sign up today without using a credit card. You can start a free account, which you can save kind of all of these images that you maybe find in the process to a lightbox is what they call it, so you can pull them up later for purchase. But Once you guys head over and if you're ready to purchase, if you use the offer code Gamebreaker10, you'll receive 25% off your new account. So unfortunately, we're having a little bit of tech issues here with callers. We'll get back to calls here in just a second. In the meantime, I'm going to throw it over to Twitter because WA Spacebar asks, could Blizzard do another trailer for the Warcraft movie in the same style as the San Diego Comic-Con one, or should it be unexpected? Now, I don't know if I understand that, because another trailer in the same style in terms of it being unexpected, where no one really knew it was coming? Or do you think that he's necessarily talking about the idea of a teaser? Because we see a lot of teasers. Like, we got a Godzilla teaser, I think, at the same San Diego Comic-Con movie. What do you guys think he's asking here? Is he asking for another teaser? Is he asking for another mystery reveal of when that trailer is going to show up?
Yeah, I think it's more of a mystery reveal type thing. Is could they get away with a mystery reveal now that they've already done one? Or is it just going to be an expected trailer at their next big function, aka BlizzCon? And I don't think they're getting away with any type of mysteries now. I thought it was cool that nobody expected it. I thought it was cool that nobody was allowed to see it if you weren't at the event. That whole PR thing was
still to this day
very cool. I know, right? That's very intriguing to me from a marketing standpoint. It's very creative, it's very fun, and there's buzz about a trailer you've never seen. How awesome is that? As far as pulling the wool over people's eyes, I think at BlizzCon particularly, something's expected, right? And if you don't put something out there, it may be a little bit of a disappointment. Although we have till 2015 on this one, so
do you think that maybe
might not
this
be BlizzCon this year?
Do you think it'll be the public reveal of the trailer? I don't think we'll get anything new, because teasers are usually one-offs. We don't get any, we don't get multiple teasers. You usually get one, and then you get a real trailer. So I think there's a good chance it will be the public unveiling of the Warcraft trailer at BlizzCon. And that will be their announcement of the BlizzCon movie.
I could go with that, yeah.
Even if it isn't, it's still going to be virtually, you still have the virtual tickets, so, I mean, unless they black that stuff out, in which case people will probably be pissed because they bought that ticket, so they expect to see everything. I don't think how you're going to, like my esteemed colleague Mike Burns said, how are you going to get away with it? It's BlizzCon. It's not a Comic-Con where Blizzard is a subset of that. It's all about Blizzard, so you're expecting something vis-a-vis the actual movie, and it's not going to be surprising.
He said
maybe there's something more.
I thought like Ace Ventura for a minute.
My esteemed confrere.
My esteemed colleague Dan Marino.
Why would it be a surprise? Like, why would, unless they're doing like an interview with the director and what kind of tone he's taking with the movie and what it's going to be like, unless there's something deeper, no.
All right, let's go ahead and take it back to the callers. We got our.
It's not the most. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying we got our tech issues figured out. So.
Anyway.
All right, let's go ahead and open up the lines and get it to another caller. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eduardo from Mexico.
I don't know who you are. We've never had you on the show, good sir.
Yay, Eduardo!
Hey, Giggles. How are you?
The show's changed if you haven't noticed since you've been absent.
Could you clap for us and do so in Spanish?
Can I get a clap?
Oh,
wait, he doesn't. Do we have any like
Spanish? So,
how do I make a clap in Spanish? like a flamenco clap, like this?
Yeah. Oh!
Oh, touche, Eduardo. Touche.
Way to think on your feet. What do you got for us, Eduardo? Well, great to have you back. I don't know where you've been, but we've missed you. How have you been, and what's your question?
Oh, people in the internet are funny. They are like babies because they think that this is all I do. Like, my existence depends on me calling to After Dark every week.
It's your job to call into After Dark every week, right? That's how you make your living.
Yeah, aren't you dead?
Like
should you be dead? You
didn't. No, Kegels, I'm not dead. I didn't cease to exist because I stopped calling to After Dark for a few months.
So what do you got?
No,
We haven't spoken to you in a really long time. So what question? I'm almost afraid to ask. What question do you have for us? You've had months to prepare for it.
No, not really. Okay, what is a podcast these days? Because
It's a video radio show.
Video radio show? Because I thought that a podcast was, well, it was a program, a radio program that followed the same structure as a radio show. But now apparently anything on the internet is a podcast now. Like anything. I think the thing here with the distinction is there's a lot of stuff on the internet, especially like YouTube. YouTubers that turn on the camera and talk to an audience or do vlogs. But the moment, even if you're a single person, the moment that you instead try and put direction and spin news into or kind of have a structure to it, it becomes a podcast. You can have a podcast about petting kittens, for crying out loud, as long as it probably had structure and you had somewhat of a following.
You could have a lot of fun with the name of that podcast.
Yes. Perhaps this name?
Oh,
Do you like my wine? I love the Gato Negro. It is fabulous.
So,
and this is Magic Man 1. Welcome back to Petting My... Whoa! Whoa, what? You
so
can have a blast with that.
I think that
Hello, it is the pussy parade. Yes, look at all these pussies.
Oh my God.
See, now there's the difference between hosts, gang.
There's the
I
line.
walked it up to the line.
Here's the
and
line.
I let you
Here's
go
Burn.
over it. Kiggles,
Here's Kiggles.
No, Kiggles grabs your hand and says, "We're going across the line."
Hi, line. How are you doing? I can't see you anymore.
I mean, it's
the nation sites that they are recommending you make in chat right now.
I think it's one of those things where like a lot of people end up falling into podcasts, but I think that ultimately I've got a Gary Gannon that chirps in my ear almost daily about I should listen to AM radio, and it wasn't until he went out of town and I was using his car that he had AM radio on, and I started listening to it the first day. And then I found myself literally not changing the channel at all and actually listening to it because I was finding it interesting because I think that I felt like it really fit into the position of what we do here. And that, I think, is ultimately what podcasting is in its technical term. I think a lot of people on the internet are very open about what technically qualifies as a podcast. But I think that if you're truly honest about what it is, it's a radio show, because podcasting originated back when you would, like, CTR is a podcast, but that is so much more of just like a radio show. And even what we do here, everything we do at Gamebreaker, Gary said this to me, and it's so true. Everything we do here is basically radio. We're putting on a radio show. We're fortunate enough that we live in the day and the age of the internet where we have cameras and streaming and whatnot, and we can actually bring it to you in the form of a news program, television broadcast, but ultimately it's a radio show.
When it works.
When it works.
When it's in sync.
When it's in sync.
That's when is a podcast not a podcast?
when it's in sync, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and open up the lines and take another caller. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name.
Were you driving Gary's Bugatti while he was gone?
Nice to see you, Eduardo.
Where is Gary hiding the Bugatti while he was gone? He should have left those keys. Get out of here.
Don't touch Gannon's Bugatti.
All right, caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question.
Can I get a clap?
Can I get a clap? I gotta remember that. Can I get a clap? Yes. No, wait, that was Burn. That was Burn.
Me.
I want a clap from the caller. We need to make sure your audio is in sync.
All right. Let me count down. 3, 2, 1.
It's off. Go correct it and call back. All right, gotta move on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That was a heavy clap. Oh my God, you must have some big hands. Hello.
Let's Give us your name, give us your question, and yeah, we got to clap. So what's your name and what's your question?
Hey guys, it's Ixter from chat. Let me just say right up front, since this show started tonight, I screwed up my shoulder this weekend, and it hurts to laugh, and I am in so much pain because of you guys right now. So you will be hearing from my lawyer.
Well, we're very glad that we could hurt you this evening. What's your question?
All right. So my question is related to an article written by someone here today.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to go with Burn. Because...
Yeah, I mean, out of the three of us, who is this most likely to impact?
because unless you've read or seen the episode of Waypoint that I was working on, I don't know how you would have read what I was working on.
All right. Well, basically, CCP released their financial report, and if you saw what Mike wrote in his article, basically...
You should probably just recap it. Neither one of these two read it.
All right. So basically, yeah.
Who reads anymore?
I use Audible.
They're all watching podcasts.
Yeah. So basically, CCP, their revenue and their profit mostly is down over the past 6 months pretty significantly, and there's a little bit of speculation. I know this was being discussed a lot by the staff today about where do you think CCP is going. I called in last week with a question about something about how Dust 514 isn't doing that well. Then we're seeing their profit going down. So what do you think the future of CCP is based on just the financial report and all the other information that's been coming out about Dust and Valkyrie, their Oculus Rift stuff, and then trying to dabble in a TV show and whatnot?
Yeah, we also, I'm not sure if this is actually your Twitter or not. We had this coming in from Jasker80, kind of asking something very similar, and even implications in terms of what this might mean for World of Darkness Online, which, come on, was that really ever a legitimate thing? I beg to differ. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think ultimately here is going on with CCP? What does this mean? Burn, you obviously wrote this in-depth article. What's your take on this? What does this mean?
Well, and in the article, I was brutally honest. It's like, I'm a math guy. I'm a calculus degree and all that stuff, but it is not a finance degree in any way or an economics thing. So it's very armchair analysis anyway. And I didn't call for CCP burning down the house and running and screaming and it's all over. Good Lord, we're done for. I took the approach of your revenues were up. Slightly. I mean, not a ton, but their revenues were higher during the first 6 months of this year than the first 6 months of last year. But their profits were down, and not just down, but substantially down. We're talking 6 million versus 300,000. And so, yes, there's a lot that goes into that, right? Dust 514 released this year in May, so there was certainly part of the increased R&D and marketing and stuff was probably related to the launch of Dust 514, and they haven't seen revenues on that, and the revenues that they did probably aren't reflected in the first 6 months of the year. So I even mentioned that the second half is also something to watch for to see if it counterbalances a lot of the spend. Is CCP closing their doors tomorrow? Absolutely not, and I hope I didn't leave readers with that impression because I specifically said that's not what I'm saying here. My concern is if I'm a short-term investor, this was kind of an iffy P&L for me and a balance sheet for me. If I'm internal already invested, I think it does raise questions as to what they're spending money on and how they're spending it. So there's certainly concerns that it raises.
Do we ultimately think here...
What I did say in the article and what I do think is quite possible, we're never going to see World of Darkness, in my opinion. Sad, because I really, really am interested in that game, but I just don't think we're going to see that one. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some shuffling over the next 6 months here. as far as leadership and who's in charge and who does what inside the company. We're already seeing it, right? With the EA employees coming over and taking over for Dust 514. So we're already starting to see that. It's not burning down, but there's definitely some question marks there that need looked at by somebody with a bigger economics degree than mine.
Do we ultimately, I mean, I know you kind of said this, and I think just for me, I think it heavily has to do with maybe their exceeded, or not, they didn't exceed expectations. They had too high of expectations for what Dust would be out of the gate. You know, I talked a little bit about this. I don't know if it was last week or the week. Actually, I think it was, because we're talking about Dust. CCP, it started off with this brilliant idea for Eve and kind of set their expectations low, and it's had nothing but growth. And they tout that every chance that they can get. But I think that they took that growth that Eve saw when they were designing Dust and thought there would be immediate transfer to the game in the same type of quantity, because they had already grasped this huge amount of following. Of course they're going to go play Dust, and they didn't. And that's why, I mean, again, and I about the article, that's potentially why we're not seeing as much revenue there, is because obviously, as you said, there was a lot that probably went out with the marketing of Dust and the release of Dust.
Yeah, and you would only be seeing, if there were cash shop revenues, which we all are also working under the assumption that the cash shop revenues probably aren't that great, right? But even if there were cash shop revenues, you would only be seeing them for a month, from the end of May through the end of June, on the statement, the financial report that was released that the article is written on. So yes, there is certainly room for interpretation that you're only seeing the Dust 514 spend and not the return, which you would see on the next document. I certainly acknowledge that in the piece. I also pointed out, though, that I'm just saying there's concerns here. It's not closing tomorrow. They have $18 million in cash to weather a little profit loss storm. But there's certainly cause for concern if you're an investor, and some questions you probably want answered about how and what money is being spent on. Keep in mind, one thing that surprised me, though, and I could totally be off base, and feel free to disagree, and some people in the comments have, and brought up other very good, compelling arguments for seeing things the other way. But one of the things that I've been seeing, too, is that a lot of people think CCP is a pillar of financial strength. And I think it's important to look back at the past, because that company has not been that, right? I mean, 2010, there were problems where they reported $5+ million in profit, but 3.5 or so of that was through an actual government loan. They still have loans on their books that are quite substantial that'll come due in 2015 and 16. Yes, you can refinance and do all kinds of fun things, but there are some things shifting around on these balance books, and have been for years, where some people have speculated they would have gone bankrupt in 2012 and never released Dust. So it's not exactly the pillar of fine financial stability. I think they're okay. They have enough cash to weather a storm like this, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a shift in direction with not only Dust 514, but maybe Valkyrie as well, and maybe some potential leadership. That's all.
Let's move on, but before... Oh, sorry, Kiggles, go ahead.
What? No, I mean, he put it eloquently. I mean, just looking over the cursory reading, they're still garnering revenue. So they're not losing money. I mean, they're making more money than they spend. Is that correct, Mike Byrne?
Yes, yeah. I mean, they did not lose, and that was the point I made. A profit's a profit in the end, no matter how small. They did make a profit. And they're not publicly traded, but don't get that confused with not having investors.
Person, no matter how small.
They're not publicly traded, but they do have investors. Don't get that confused.
Okay, and it seems like, okay, so there is some cause for concern, but their spending is up, and you said that it's based on, you have to put out this money to make a game and to sell it and to, market it and blah, 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 blah. So it's a cause for concern, sure, but the next 6 months, as you said, are very telling. Is it going to take off? Is it not going to take off? We'll see. I'm sure that if they were responsible, which it seems like they are, then they're keeping an eye on it, but they're not going to evaluate it until they start getting the first of the returns from their initial cost. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, and my whole thing is, it causes questions. I'm really interested in the next half-year report, because that's where we'll see Dust 514 and if it made money or if they spent too much in the first half on it. I think
We'll check back.
that one's more important.
We'll have to check back and just see how it's going, I guess, then at the next earnings report. Real quick, I want to tell you guys about a awesome service, but we have available right here on Gamebreaker TV. Audible.com is a wonderful, wonderful service, and I think a lot of you guys out there, like myself, if you guys are big sci-fi buffs, you're excited about Ender's Game. For those of you who maybe don't know, Ender's Game is a movie that's coming out on November 1st, and it is actually an adaptation of a book. That's right. All good cinema comes from books, right? Well, Ender's Game is actually available to be listening to sit down and listen to right now on audible.com. You can start streaming it right now and actually get through the whole entire book in just under 12 hours. Now, for those of you guys who maybe don't know, I know I'm going to be way off. Like, it's not exactly like Gundam Wing. But I'm starting to see a trend here among sci-fi movies. I saw it with kind of Pacific Rim and big robots attacking, and then Ender's Game comes along, and it's kind of very similar, where it's a story about kind of these young children who are really kind of in charge and really the ones in power at the military, and it's a wonderful story that you guys should check out. And I just don't think a 2.5 hour movie is going to be able to do this justice. You have to check out the book to get the full experience, and you guys can get access to the book right now on Audible. And if you head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial, as well as pick up a free audiobook, and you guys can start listening to books like Ender's Game or any other video game related books or many other options. They've got hundreds of hours of audiobooks to listen to. You guys should go check it out right now. So head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker and start listening today. All right, let's go ahead and open up the lines. We've got 2 more callers to get to. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question. Can I get a clap?
Did I clap?
That was all right, sweet.
All right,
how's it going?
Is from Denver. I'm good. But yeah, I finished the story for XIV a couple nights ago.
Nice.
It's kind of made me pretty upset at the end, and I wanted to know, what is your opinion on Square Enix forcing players to group to advance in the story content, like mainly the last 2 dungeons, which are, you're more likely, if you're using the duty finder, you're more likely to get people that are going to AFK, or they're going to want to do a speed run, than people that haven't experienced the story. So you're not even, so they'll end up skipping the cutscenes for you and totally ruining that first experience, which if you're a Final Fantasy fanboy like I am, it totally kills the last most epic part of the game. Like, totally killed it for me. And like, I'm going to play Endgame. I love the game.
Sure.
Like, I'm totally going to play it. But like, with games, I will not group up. Like, I don't talk to anybody. Like, I am antisocial until I finish the story part of a game. And then I'll get in a guild, and then I'll do raids and stuff like that. So I just wanted to know what your guys' take on it is.
Burn, what do you think? You're the resident Final Fantasy guru that we have here.
Never played that game.
Never once? Not ever?
Not once. No. Oh no, that's you. Oh shit. Oh, zing. That's the other mic.
Oh, get some aloe vera for
okay.
that, Burn.
So it's kind of like 2 parts on that one. What do you think of Square forcing you to group up at the end? And that does kind of happen more and more as the story plays out. You are forced into more and more group scenarios. So on that one first, I like it because it's an MMO. Anytime an MMO encourages and even in some instances requires group-oriented content, I'm in favor of it. I like the option to do things alone, but it's also important to me to have an MMO require that there is some social aspect to it, in my own opinion. So that one first, I'm okay with. On the other point, it has led to a little bit of a toxic community at Final Fantasy's endgame right now, where you have the people that blew through the content and are grinding their different pieces of gear and tomestones and everything, matching up against the people that are playing at their own pace and are now hitting the endgame and would like to watch the cutscenes play out and are getting backlash, and there's from people that just want to speed run things. And one of the problems that I think this causes this is that all the players are still bunched at the same content. Because the game is new and only has the initial release, no expansions or patches of content or anything, those people that ran to the end and those people that are just going to the end are still forced into the same two instances at this point. That's where the huge problem is now. There's no variety for these endgame players to go and do other things and encourage these people to flow their way through the story. I think it will alleviate as more and more endgame content is added in 2.1 and 2.2, but right now, it does kind of suck that there isn't an option for you to go story mode or go speed mode. The only thing I can suggest is find some friends and avoid the duty finder if you're really pumped about playing the story out like that. Find some like-minded friends in your free company and do it that way. On the other side of that, if you're a speedrunner, stop being a jagoff and making people skip the scenes and being a jerk about it because you wanted to watch them too. It's not the same watching it in your in-book. I'm sorry. Find 7 people that want to do a speed run and you go run it. Avoid the duty finder too. Everybody, avoid the duty finder.
Duty.
I was waiting for someone to catch that. Just had to be there. You can't name something duty finder. You can't. It's come on, Square. Come on.
Duty.
Let's go ahead and open up the lines and take this final call and wrap this show up. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Kiggles is cracking up. Tell us your name, tell us your question, and can we get a clap?
1, 2, 3, go. All right, am I good?
Yes. Audio is in sync. What do you got?
All right. My name is Edwin. I'm calling from Florida. Loving XIV, playing it as we speak with the stream and everybody in the stream. So awesome. But one thing I want to say is, Michael Bird, how come you don't stream as much? I know I've seen you stream, sometimes, and Q was telling me that you guys have done some Rift streaming, but I know with I was watching when you did it with MMORPG, and I was loving it, man. I was watching the whole time, I think, but you only did it like 1 day or 2.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the compliment. That means the world to me that you enjoyed watching. Thank you. Thank you. We wouldn't do it if you didn't watch. So that's important. And to be honest, it's just been time right now. I will try to stream more often, but it's a little challenging with the free-to-play, the XIV Nation, the different shows and things. And then also, yeah, I have a day job and a wife and 3 kids. So it's a little challenging, but if it means that much, I will try because I like doing it, and if there's enough people that want to watch it, I'm sure Mr. Gannon will give me the keys to the live stream to go have some fun here and there.
Let me just check. We were getting a little bit of reverb on that echo just from the caller. Caller, are you still out there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Wonderful. Was that your question? I wanted to check back in and just make sure that was your question, or see if you had anything else that you wanted to ask.
Oh yeah. I was just wanted to add on. That was just a first part to it, and then I was saying, even then, I know you're busy and whatnot and stuff like that. But as time goes along and we go into like the Gamebreaker Nation, I've been waiting every second for something to come out for that, anything like that. I mean,
well, Mr. Gannon might have something Friday for you.
Oh man, that's gonna. So I can't wait. I was waiting for the new GBN cast to come out, and that didn't come out, but I guess because he was gone. But either way, I mean, like maybe we could get the GBN members to go, like some of the, I don't know, and the officers, or switching even between maybe watching Michael Schaff playing WoW, or stuff like that. I mean, like it doesn't have to be solely on your shoulders from being the stream and whatnot, but maybe just promoting a little more streaming on Twitch, and then you guys could just funnel everybody's viewer base into one channel, and just get it going like that. I mean, maybe a schedule you guys could go off or stuff. I don't know, anything. I know you guys will work it out. You guys are, that's what you guys do. But
then Shaft and I are gonna be fighting for the stream. Get
Yeah,
off
man.
of it! It's
Dude,
my turn.
that-
Nobody watches WoW.
Everybody loves that because I've
Chef
been
it.
watching you guys for probably a few months now. I'm fairly fresh to the Gamebreaker and loving you guys, everything like that. But I work all day. I work a 60-hour job, a 60-hour week. I'm sorry, and I work a lot. So I come at night. I like to play XIV and watch Twitch. But you guys don't stream it, all day, every day like some of these other
Right.
people. So when
Right.
you guys aren't, I'm forced to watch them.
But you want to watch us, so we appreciate the loyalty.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm still fairly fresh, but I love watching you guys. It's awesome because you guys are very professional, and that's what you guys keep it as. You guys try to do everything right and give the viewers what they like. So I could see that. I could see that you guys put so much into the stream that I could put my time into watching it. It's just simple as that. I love games, so why not? But I mean, just something more along the lines of just, maybe a constant Twitch. I mean, you guys don't have to be on constantly, but
I think
something,
the answer to that kind of comes from what Gary is essentially trying to do with GBN, and I haven't talked to him recently about these plans, but I know he's always talked about wanting to create this 12 to 24 hour network, this always on kind of thing where there's always something to watch. We used to run reruns on the Twitch channel of all the different shows. I don't want to confirm because I could be pulling this out of nowhere, but I feel like there have been talks of trying to find people who are interested in streaming to start a consistent schedule where there's someone, if it's not a show, there's someone who's playing a game. And obviously with the GBN, that'll come because we'll have all these different events going on that officers are going to be planning. And, most likely there will be some sort of way to potentially broadcast these events for people to watch. And kind of know about, that way they can come in and be a part of the greater picture. So ultimately, I think that it's definitely something and a direction that Gamebreaker is trying to go. As you touched on it, it really just comes down to time. I'll let you guys even kind of pick up and talk about it, but just, as for myself, between the hours that I'm working and the time that I'm sleeping, me personally, the reason why I don't stream, and I know I wasn't asked, which is fine, the reason that sounds really pretentious.
Like so bitter.
No.
Like,
I'm not.
I don't stream. Thanks for not asking me to do it.
I'm not. That sounded so pretentious, but that's not even the case because
Be yourself.
what I was
No one asked me.
muted. That's what you guys get. What I was going to say was, there's, like when it comes down to it, there's this like the small amount of time that I have, and Burn gives me a lot of crap for not playing Final Fantasy. But when it comes down to it, right now in my free time, I want to be playing Grand Theft Auto because I'm really enjoying that game. So, and I unmuted you guys, by the way. You guys are back open. So ultimately,
Thanks for not asking me to stream.
Ultimately,
No one
that's
asked me to do anything but After Dark.
I got another rock.
I just come on here and be awesome, and then no one talks to me. And Chapter doesn't want to play League with me, and Mike doesn't want to play Final Fantasy 14 even though I don't play that game.
You didn't ask me to stream. I hate the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Games were so awesome back in 1927 when there.
Kiggles. You can follow him right down there at Kiggles, muted indefinitely. You can follow him at, or not at Kiggles, you can follow him at the Zach Schultz. Be sure to catch him every week right here on After Dark. One word, pen. I think you are the coolest person in the world, Mike Schaffnin. Mike Byrne, you can follow him right down there at MagicMan1. Be sure to follow, one word, two syllables. Be sure to, Kiggles is falling apart. I don't even know. You guys can follow me right down here at Mike Schaffnin. Thank you guys so much for watching. We do this live call-in show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. PDT. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't tried calling in live, please feel free to do so. We always love getting your calls and answering them every week here. Be sure to check out Gamebreaker TV as well as all of the amazing stuff we do. And if you guys have not checked out the Gamebreaker Nation and want to go sign up, you can go sign up right now. It is available at GamebreakerNation.com. So head on over and do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.